100 people are dead and more than 160 others are still missing. The search for survivors grows desperate, and so do questions about who knew what and when.
We understand you have many questions.
The judge is not here.
We understand that, but right now, this team up here is focused on bringing people home. That's our focus. All those questions will be answered, but the priority right now is bringing people home.
We totally understand that, and we value the incredible work that's being done by those first responders. We're seeing them out there muddy and sweaty and grinding it out day after day. But your community is asking these questions.
And we will get answers. Right now, all of our resources are focused to recovery.
Quite the exchange. Tensions ran high at a news conference in Kerr County this morning. Authorities leading the search for victims, promising reporters answers to their questions about the flood warnings will come later. The death toll from the devastating floods now stands at 109, spanning 6 counties.
Officials in Kerr County say 5 campers and a counselor from Camp Mystic are still among those missing. Governor Abbott toured the campgrounds and other areas today. During a news conference this afternoon, he shared a staggering new number. A total of 161 people are believed still missing from the floods in Kerr County alone.
The governor also reiterated that the #1 mission of first responders is to locate all of those missing people. And we now know this includes this young woman, Houstonian and Camp Mystic counselor Catherine Ferruzzo. She remains unaccounted for. Her family issuing this statement saying, quote, Catherine has a fierce and loving spirit, and we have no doubt she did all she could to save the lives of the girls in her cabin. Our family asks you give us privacy while we await more news and grieve this tragedy.
We have live team coverage beginning with Matt Doherty live in the town of Center Point, just south of Kerrville. Matt, today you got our first look into yet another small town devastated by this flooding.
We did. The Guadalupe River here in Center Point is moving at a much safer pace this hour. Right across the river on the far side there, you can see one of those divers. He's going back into the water. That's where some of these rescue crews have been working today. Then just on the other side of the water is where the command station for this area begins, and it goes further back as you cross that parking lot. Things looked very different just a few days ago, a stark contrast. This afternoon we met with the man who took this incredible video from the bridge here in Center Point. For a little more than half an hour, Gavin Walston stood on the side of this bridge as the sun started coming up Friday morning. The water was rising faster than he'd ever seen in his life, becoming dangerous rapids. Along with the surge came enormous trees and debris, even a home.
Flash floods, we get them all the time. We have the warnings. There was warnings for heavy rain. There was warnings for flash floods, but they didn't anticipate being as strong as it was and the culmination that we ended up getting.
Gavin says the water rose well over 20 feet in half an hour. He says he's lucky he wasn't hurt and was nearly swiped by a tree carried by the river. And it's also good news that Gavin says he learned later that nobody was inside of that home when all of this was happening. I don't know if you can see it from where we are right now, but just across the bridge on the other side is where some of those search crew volunteers on the ground are looking for more remains. They tell us we'll have some of their story coming up tonight at 10 o'clock.
All right, thank you so much, Matt. A search that's been going on for days now. Our hearts are with him. Matt Doherty in Center Point, thank you so much.
We have learned a student from HIC Sinclair Elementary School died in the flooding.
The school's PTO confirming the death of Greta Torono. She was at Camp Mystic. Troy Kless is live outside the school in Timber Grove, where a memorial is growing. Troy.
Well, Ron, for the past 4 days, Sinclair Elementary was a site of hope. Many of those flowers that you see behind me on the fence were laid yesterday in hopes that Greta would be found. Now, it's still a site where people are encouraged to share tributes to Greta. So again, according to some video earlier today, we saw several people that were still coming by again in support and again trying to honor Greta as they were still waiting for hope. So take a look at some video from earlier today. You could see that people were writing messages in chalk for Greta Torono. And there were also, again, several bouquets laid by the fence, and there were also several ribbons that were the color blue. That was Greta's favorite color. They were tied on trees and fences around this community. And, this, again, it reached so many people, including strangers that didn't even know the family. Take a listen to one that we spoke with earlier today.
We've just been so grief-stricken amongst everybody in the country, I would say, maybe the world. And just, I know what these parents are going through losing a child, so I've been through it myself, and my heart is broken right along with everybody else.
And the school PTO says they will be sharing additional support systems for students, and they encourage people to come by to the campus and leave messages for Greta's family. Now, the PTO says that they also had a police officer and a therapy dog here at the school earlier today for those that needed it. Coming up at 6, we'll hear more from that woman and others who decided to stop by today. Reporting live in the Timber Grove area, Troy Kless, KHOU 11 News.
So many tributes for so many victims. Troy Kless, thank you so much. There have been so many stories of those lost or still missing along the river.
And Cheryl Mercedes has been speaking to families and gathering their stories as we all try to come to grips with this tragedy. Cheryl.
Mia Ron, despite ongoing search and recovery operations, several campers and one counselor from Camp Mystic remain unaccounted for. Most of those young girls, many of them are from the Houston area. Troy just shared the sad update about 10-year-old Greta Torono. We also learned today that the bodies of campers Blake McCrory and Mary Grace Baker, this one here, Blake of the Bel Air area and Mary Grace of Beaumont, their bodies were found. Now the search continues for the other girls that are from our area, and they include the 4 girls right here: Molly DeWitt, Ellen Getton, Kellyanne Lytle, and Margaret Sheedy. It's an agonizing wait for all of these families, and their communities are doing what they can to support them. Mia.
Yes, they'll need all the support they can get. Cheryl Mercedes with the difficult update on the missing. We thank you.
And we're beginning to hear more from survivors of the flooding. They're sharing what they saw and what they did to stay alive.
Marcelino Bonito is in the newsroom now with more from 2 survivors and how they're dealing with it all. Marcelino.
Guys, these 2 survivors made it clear they never saw this type of catastrophic flooding coming, and there wasn't much time to react. Christian Fell lives off the Guadalupe River in Hunt, Texas, his home now a muddy mess. He recalls water rushing into his home so hard he couldn't close the door. The water rose so quickly he swam through a broken window and then grabbed onto the first thing he saw.
It definitely is I think a blessing that the meter box was there, because I don't even think I remembered that was on that side of the building. So as I started to climb it, I just realized I needed to get out of the water as quickly as I could and just find something to hold on to so the water couldn't take me away. It's just like any other night, and then you come to realize that it quickly turned into a nightmare.
6 miles south of Christian's location was Camp Mystic. Tonight we're hearing from one young woman who got out alive.
The first thing I thought, this is not real. Wake up, Caroline, wake up. This is not real. I'm in a dream. And that's what I wanted it to be. I wanted it to be a dream because that's not real. That can't happen. Camp Mystic's the safest place I've ever known, and I just couldn't believe it. So it was devastating.
This was Caroline Catrona's 11th year at Mystic and 4th as a counselor. Sadly, 27 campers and counselors from Camp Mystic died in the flooding, and the death toll could still rise. 5 girls and a counselor do remain missing. Back to you.
So horribly sad. Marcelino Bonito, thank you so much. We'll have